Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Lancaster. It's good to see all of you here today. If we can get the mic on, that'll be great. Good morning. There we go. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Lancaster. It's great to see all of you here in church this morning. Our call to worship this morning are words by Barbara Merritt. She says, Unitarian Universalists have said for centuries that there is room in our religion for all seekers. Skeptics and poets and scientists are welcome here, as are nonconformists and the shy and uncertain folk. That's going to be some of us. We believe that restlessness and doubts are a sign of grace, that the love of truth is the holiest of gifts. Let us worship together. I invite you to find a gray hymnal somewhere near you, and we're going to stand and sing together. This is a good hymn. It's long. You can get into it. Number 354. Finding the gray hymnal, number 354. We'll stand together and sing, We Laugh, We Cry.
We laugh, we cry, we live.
Please remain standing for the lighting of our chalice. Thank you, Eli. We are all warmed up now. In Unitarian Universalism, the chalice is our most central symbol. We light it at each of our services. For us, it is a flame of truth and knowledge. It is a beacon of hope and of justice, of peace and of love. This morning, we light our chalice with these words by my colleague, John Gibb Millspaw. Leave aside the little thoughts that distract you, for this place, like all places, is a holy place, and now, like all times, is a holy time. Join with this community of seekers and find together here the truth. Please be seated. I want to welcome you all to church this morning. We're having Celebration Sunday this day, and somebody asked me in the week, what do you mean by celebration? What are you celebrating? I said, we're celebrating that we're going to raise some money today. This is the day that you all get asked to pledge to the church, and it really is a celebration. I've been in ministry now 25 years, and each year running the annual pledge campaign is a particular joy of mine, because I know that money is simply liquid power. And what we put our money toward really shows our values in the world. Ask any organization what their mission is in the world, and they can hand you their budget, and you will know what their actual priorities are. So thanks for coming today. It'll make the job easier for the annual pledge campaign team because you were here this morning. So thanks for coming to Celebration Sunday. I know that every single Sunday when we're in church, there are people who have been gathering in this place for many, many years. And every single Sunday, there's someone who is brand new among us. And that's the beauty of a church congregation, is that it is constantly flowing like a stream. There are new folks being added to it all the time to go with those of us who have been in it for years. So whether you've been coming and sitting in roughly the same spot for decades, or it's your very first Sunday with us, we are glad that you have come. We hope this hour nourishes you in mind, body, and spirit. This is a place to find a way to live in the world. It's a place to find friends. It's a place to belong. You belong here. Welcome to your church this morning.
Good morning. My name is Marian Joyce. I'm your worship associate this morning. And we will now turn in our hymnal to number 4, in the gray hymnal, to number 468 for the responsive reading. I'll give you a moment to find it. I will start and you will read the italicized. We need one another. We need one another when we mourn and would be comforted.
We need one another when we are in trouble and afraid.
We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again.
We need one another when we would accomplish some great purpose and cannot do it alone.
We need one another in the hour of success, when we look for someone to share our triumphs.
We need one another in the hour of defeat, when with encouragement we might endure and stand again.
We need one another when we come to die, and with gentle hands prepare us for the journey.
All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us. Our second reading this morning is by Annie Dillard. This is an excerpt from her book, Holy the Firm. There is one church here, so I go to it. On Sunday mornings, I quit the house and wander down the hill to the white frame church in the firs. On a big Sunday, there might be 20 of us there. Often I am the only person under 60 and feel as though I'm on an archaeological tour of Soviet Russia. The members are of mixed denominations. The minister is a Congregationalist and wears a white shirt. The man knows God. Once, in the middle of a long pastoral prayer of intercession for the whole world, for the gift of wisdom for its leaders, for hope and mercy to the grieving and the pained, succor to the oppressed, and God's grace to all, in the middle of this he stopped and burst out, "Lord, we bring you these same petitions every week." After a shocked pause, he continued to read the prayer. Because of this, I like him very much. "Good morning," he says after the first hymn and invocation, startling me witless every time, and we all shout back, "Good morning." The church women all bring flowers for the altar. They haul in arrangements as big as hedges of wayside herbs in season and flowers from their gardens, huge bunches of foliage and blossoms as tall as I am, in vases the size of tubs, and the altar still looks irredeemably linoleum and beige. We had a singer once, a guest from a Canadian congregation, a hulking blonde girl with chopped hair and big shoulders who wore tinted spectacles and a long, lacy dress, and sang, grinning, to faltering accompaniment, an entirely secular song about mountains. Nothing could have been more apparent than that God loved this girl. Nothing could more surely convince me of God's unending mercy than the continued existence on earth of the church. I invite you to settle in for the sermon. Reverend Tony Perino, who once served this congregation, tells the following story. One day, a little boy was playing in front of his house when it occurred to him that he had never seen an adult playing with a red wagon like his, and he burst into tears. When his mother asked him why he was crying, the boy said that he was afraid that when he grew up, he wouldn't be able to play with his red wagon anymore. The mother assured the child that when he grew up, he could play with his red wagon if he wanted to. That quieted him for a moment. Then he burst into even greater sobs. The mother asked, "What's the matter now?" The boy replied, "I'm afraid that when I grow up, I won't want to play with my red wagon anymore." Thus, many of us, in more sophisticated ways, borrow trouble from tomorrow and let today, the only time we actually have to live, be consumed by the interest we pay on the loan. The hardest thing any of us will ever do is live today for today. It is so very difficult to slow the forward thrust of our lives even a bit. We are planners and doers, you and I. We are schemers and plotters. If we are not constantly preparing for tomorrow and the next day, you and I feel like we might get left behind. We might lose what we have. We might miss an opportunity. And we might be forced to acknowledge our own human frailty. Some have joked that Unitarian Universalists believe in salvation through good planning. This is not too far from true. We rationalists have long taken a skeptical view of grace, much preferring good hard work and a weatherproof barn. Our old Calvinist roots show when we chart our weekly activities in 15-minute increments. Our Puritan ancestors are alive and well when we imagine grade school achievements lead to good colleges, or when we see our houses gaining in property values, or when we imagine ourselves one day living in a nice assisted living facility. You and I understand compound interest. But what about today? When was the last time you played with your red wagon? Do you even want to play with it anymore? The beauty of an hour in church each week is that it forces us to be in the moment. For 1 hour out of 168 each week, you and I are asked to be here now. For an hour, you and I can imagine we are really and truly connected to something larger than ourselves. For an hour, we resist the headlong tumble into the next moment. Here, we are invited to look inside ourselves and to see there both beauty and pain. For an hour, you and I need not borrow trouble from tomorrow. We can let today be today. I'm always amused when people come up to me and exclaim, "I heard church was really good last week. Can I get a written copy of your sermon?" "Were you traveling last week?" I ask. "No," the person usually answers, "I just didn't get to church because of fill in the blank." And of course, it's always some good excuse. I smile and don't say what I'm thinking, which is, of course, why wouldn't you come to church on Sunday mornings, especially if you heard that it was good? Why would you mistrust an hour here together as potentially misspent? Just as we forget how much fun it is to play with a red wagon or to do anything else easy and carefree, we forget how an hour devoted to our spiritual lives can make us feel better all week long. We forget how an hour of music and silence and prayer and quiet conversation might make us more resilient, calmer, gentler, and more content. So why do so many UUs treat church like an optional pastime on a Sunday morning? To be sure, no one goes to a church like ours anymore because they are afraid of damnation, excommunication, or societal scorn. In America today, liberal religion is 100% voluntary. And church must compete with many other Sunday morning activities. For people to show up to it, that means church must matter. There is only one way that I know of to increase Sunday morning attendance, and that is to make church worthwhile every Sunday. Make it so you don't want to miss a single service. Make it so children insist the family comes here first on Sundays. All I know how to do is to make this hour so fulfilling that you want to bring your friends to this place. The first and most persistent message this congregation should send is, you belong here. Only through a deep sense of belonging will any of us who seek to stay here become a part of us. Belonging is investment. Membership in a congregation like ours is not a casual commitment. It comes with real-life responsibilities, including the responsibility to give our money generously. Unlike so many other institutions in our lives, our church asks more of us, and it needs more too. We have no other funding source than our people. Everything we do is paid for by people just like you and me. Any work we do outside our walls will happen because we gave up some of our money to make it happen. But back to belonging. Why belong? When we belong to something, a complete relationship forms. The giving and the receiving equal out. they balance each other. Talk of I and me turns to talk of us and we. We form a helpful pride in the work that we can do together. When we belong, we know the congregation is not only looking out for us, but it is looking out for everyone else who belongs to it too. In the beautiful brochure that was mailed to you a couple weeks ago, announcing the annual pledge campaign, we promised to do 3 things with your money next year: grow spiritually, welcome the LGBTQ+ community, and celebrate science and religion. Let me just read from the brochure. Grow spiritually. By hiring a new RE administrator, we will re-energize our spiritual growth programs for adults and children. Small group ministries, adult forums, and engaging UU development will help us all grow spiritually. 2, welcome the LGBTQ+ community. Our rainbow flag outside, fluttering in the breeze every time you drive down Chestnut Street, declares that we are a welcoming congregation and a safe place for the LGBTQ+ community. As new people find us, word will spread that we are living a message of love in a way that includes everyone. And 3rd, celebrate science and religion. One of our core values is to trust science and to practice religion with an open mind. The more active UUCL can be, the more these values will thrive in Lancaster County. Through a monthly sermon series next year with J.D. Stillwater on science and religion, we will explore the connections between them. Each of these initiatives will foster a deeper sense of belonging here. There is no doubt we will need one another this year, and for the next 3 years, I can guarantee it. Our nation is as divided as it has been since the Civil War. We need one another, if only to remind ourselves on a weekly basis that kindness is important, that peace takes effort, that love can overcome fear. And the lucky thing for us is that showing up here really is enough. Simply being here is enough for the love of this community to start to take hold in each of us. Simply being here is enough to make all of us better. Being here will help you figure out what to do next. What we will all now do will be show our commitment to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Lancaster. It will show we belong here. Members of the annual pledge campaign team have pledge cards for each of you. They also have pens. We are asking you to take a pledge card and think carefully about your gift to your church for the coming year. We're asking you to be realistically generous. Give an amount that makes you feel good but doesn't break the bank. My guess is that number is higher than you might have imagined. I'm new here, so I'm going to make my pledge for $1,000. $1,000 is a very good starting pledge, and if you haven't pledged before, I encourage you to match me or exceed mine. Most of you, I know, will pledge far higher than that $1,000 amount. Your generosity is important because you belong here. Once you have filled out both the front and back of your pledge card, one per household, please bring it forward and add it to the others in the blue box. If you're wondering what you pledged last year, Darcy will have her computer downstairs at coffee hour and can look that number up for you. As we do this, Eli will get us all singing as we joyfully give to our congregation, but not quite yet. Hang on, Alan. We have to end the sermon with a poem. I mean, really, it's got to have some artistic ending. In his 13th century poem, The Ocean Moving All Night, the Persian Sufi mystic Rumi says, "Stay with us. Don't sink to the bottom like fish going to sleep. Be with the ocean, moving steadily all night, not scattered like a rainstorm. The spring we are looking for is somewhere in this murkiness. See the night lights up there, traveling together, the candle awake in its gold dish. Don't slide into the cracks of ground like spilled mercury. When the full moon comes out, look around. Don't slide into the cracks of ground like spilled mercury. When the full moon comes out, look around. Do not forget your red wagon. Do not leap ahead months and years in your mind. Come to this place and let it open you up. Come, be here in this holy moment. You are not among us by accident. You belong here. So be it. Amen. Please come forward and distribute the pledge cards.
I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. And together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. And from this we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. And together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, and from there we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, and together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. One more. From you I receive, to you I give, and together we share, and from this we live.
Friends, I may have forgotten to put the words in the order of service, but if you can catch the chorus, please sing along. This is a fun tune. Fun tune. Thank you, Bonnie, for helping us get this song together.
Thank you, choir. Okay, here's a weird question for you all. Any of you have ever been in the drive-thru or the convenience store or the Starbucks, and when you go to pay, the clerk says, "You don't owe anything. Person ahead of you took care of it." That ever happen? Aha. This has happened to me multiple times, especially back in 2020 when I kept the reception desk open for walk-ins at work while others worked from home. Often at 7 a.m. heading downtown, I would drive through McDonald's for an Egg McMuffin. "You don't owe anything. The person ahead of you took care of it." First time it happened, I was wowed. Next time, "You don't owe anything. Person ahead of you took care of it." I decided to do the same for the driver after me. Third time, "You don't owe anything. The person ahead of you took care of it." When I say, "Okay, then I'll pay for the driver behind me," the cashier responds, "Man, that's 5 in a row." One kindness can start a chain reaction. There are plaques on the sanctuary wall over there to donors whose names some of us remember: Eastman, Brailsford, Beitel, people who paid it forward. There are many of us who, when first new here, benefited from the kindness of others as we struggled to make ends meet and absorbed the grace of UU values. There are some sitting here who may be driving DoorDash or waiting for disability approval or worrying about losing their unemployment benefits before they get hired again. Maybe you're not in a position to pledge, but you are in a position to recognize a fellow traveler, maybe share a kind word, or your time. There are some UUs here who are returning after a hiatus, some who pledged even when they were not regular attendees, and some just realizing how grateful they are this place exists and thrives as before. Wherever you are on your UU journey, I wish for you a grateful heart. Gratitude can make your day, whether it's by counting your blessings, saying the words, or by giving. So that's where my response was supposed to end, along with a nice quote from Oprah about what you focus on expands, and when you focus on the goodness in your life, you create more of it. And then Reverend Howard said, "Be sure and talk about why I myself pledge." So why have I been here for 35 years? Why do I pledge? This is my extended family. I'm gonna get emotional. As we went through life's ups and downs, people have been there for me. When my husband died suddenly, or when we had a crisis and I needed help with my 2 grandkids. Now I want to be there for others when I can. Number 2, courage to live your values. When I struggled at a job where my boss instructed me to do something that would hurt a client financially, sitting in this sanctuary among like-minded people can remind you who you are and give you the words to speak up. 3, personal and spiritual growth. This mobile represents the religions and sources from which you can draw wisdom. When filling out your online dating site profile in your 60s, you may end up with ex-Catholic, UU, humanist, Buddhist, Celtic woman, or some variation. Ministers and speakers whose insights and spirituality you can respect from the pulpit. Most UU ministers seem to have had a personal or family crisis and real-life experience that enables them to show their vulnerability. Finally, for me, a low boredom threshold. There's a joke that UUs are really Quakers with ADD. So that resonates. So, okay. All right. Okay. Okay, where we're going. All right. Next is the offering. And you will notice from your bulletin that we have a new Share the Plate recipient this month and next month. It's the Interfaith Partners for the Chesapeake Bay, of which we are a member congregation. And this equips people of faith to honor, protect, and restore our shared watershed. And you will learn more about it in the next few months. So half the non-pledge collection will go to the Interfaith Partners for the Chesapeake. You may now come forward.
Each week we make space in our service for the joys and the sorrows in our life. I know that many of you depend on this ritual for when you come to this place brimming over with some good new thing, and when you also come here carrying some heavy weight that if you would just press it into a stone, it would be lighter for you. I invite you, if you have come this week with a joy or a sorrow, to come up the middle aisle and to press that joy or sorrow into a stone and place it in the sand and return by the side aisle. We will have this ritual of joys and sorrows, and then I'll offer a pastoral prayer. Please come forward if you feel moved. Let us now take a few moments of silence as this gathered congregation, and I'll offer a prayer. Spirit of life, you know that what we humans need in life is simply to know that we are loved and to be able to love in return. To know that we are loved as ourselves, as good people among all of the people of the world. To know that we belong someplace and that the people sitting next to us care about us. They care about the joys in our lives and the sorrows too. They want to see us as whole, complex, real human beings. We know that we belong to you and to this good green earth, but remind us over and over and over again how deep that belonging goes. That belonging goes into our muscles and into the tissues of our flesh, into our bones and into our brain. That belonging becomes us, and we become it. Never let us forget that we each have value, that we each can propel good in this world, that we are each capable of love, that we each can make peace wherever we go. We pray for this congregation and the way that it moves in the world, the way that it has held steady over the decades as a place to come and to be recharged, a place to inspire people to go out and work into the world, a place that says, you do not have to be dogmatic to be here. There are lots of ways to be religious. Thank you for this congregation. Thank you for the people whose names are on the walls, on the plaques, who paid it forward that we too might sit here, might worship here, might speak and sing here, might be known here. Thank you, and thank you for all that is this life. Remind us again and again that it is so simple to simply see the human beings and the animals and the birds and the trees around us, and so difficult at the same time. Open our eyes, open our ears, open our hands, that we might be of good to this world. Amen.
You don't have to recite a credo here, but there is an affirmation of faith inside the front of the gray hymnal that the congregation wrote together a few decades ago. We will say it first in English and then in Spanish. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ofrenda. Este es nuestro gran pacto, el convivir unidos en paz, el buscar la verdad en amor y ayudarnos unos a los otros. I will draw your attention, if you have your bulletin, to the back to the announcements. And I also have one other quick announcement about today. At coffee hour downstairs via the steps or the elevator, The environmental justice team invites everyone to write a postcard to reduce carbon emissions in Pennsylvania. Come to coffee hour to write a postcard. And also ask those people about the climate justice event that will be happening March 23rd, 22 and 23. And there's cake. There are 2 cakes. All right. At the back, you also see that there is a webinar, Grounded, Resilient, and Responsible, Responding and Organizing in Authoritarian Times. You can join on your own using the link below, or you got an email through your weekly love letter. That's easy to join up. And if you want company watching, on Tuesday, March 4 at 7 p.m. in Emerson Hall, you will be able to join some other UUs. Congregants in Action, Wednesday, March 5th, 7 to 8:30 in Founders Hall. Check that event out also. Okay.
I think that's it. Let's have them come down and have cake and coffee and enjoy one another's conversation at coffee hour. Let's sing first, though. I invite you to find a teal hymnal this time somewhere near you, and you'll turn to number 1018. We're going to stand and sing together. Come and Go With Me, number 1018. Please rise as you are able.
Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm found, where I'm found. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm found. There'll be freedom. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm found, where I'm found. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm found. What about justice? Hey, there'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm found, where I'm found. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I want to hear some singing. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm found, where I'm found. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. Let's do it one more time. Come and go with me, everybody. With me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound.
Come and go with me to that land. Let's all go together. How's that sound? You belong here, and that is a land where we are headed. Come and go with me to that land. Go in peace and go in love. Amen.